Have you ever wondered why lifting something can feel super easy one second and then almost impossible the next, even if it's the exact same weight? Well, it turns out there's this hidden language of physics going on inside our bodies, and it pretty much rules everything from our performance to our risk of injury. So let's get into it and uncover these hidden forces in our movement.
It really all comes down to this simple but kind of baffling puzzle that I bet has happened to you. Why does holding a 10-pound dumbbell right up against your chest feel, totally fine? But holding that same exact weight with your arms straight out feels like you're trying to lift a car. The weight itself didn't change, right? So what did?
And figuring that out? Well, that's the key. That's the difference between just guessing your way through a workout and actually understanding how your body is designed to move. It's time to stop guessing and start knowing.
Now here's the best part. You don't need some fancy biomechanics lab or, a PhD in physics to get this. Almost everything, from why your back hurts when you deadlift to how a pitcher throws a fastball, it all boils down to just two really simple ideas. Let's break them down.
Okay, first up is a concept that you already get, even if you don't really think about it, and that is force.
When we talk about biomechanics, a force is just a push or a pull. That's it. When your bicep muscle contracts, it's pulling on your forearm bone. When you lift a weight, gravity is pulling it down towards the floor. It's the most basic thing, the starting point for literally every move you make. But, and this is a big but, force is only half the story. The amount of force, on its own, usually isn't the problem. The real secret is how, and more importantly, where that force is applied. And that brings us to the second concept, which is the real game changer.
Okay, get ready because this is the big aha moment right here. It's a concept called a moment, and it's what explains why distance is the secret multiplier in pretty much everything you do.
A moment, you might have also heard it called torque, is basically the rotational effect that a force has. And the formula for it is so simple. It's just the force times the distance from whatever is rotating. And that word, distance, that's the key. It's a lever, it's an amplifier, it's what makes everything happen. So take a look here. Your bicep muscle contracts, right? And it creates a force. It's pulling on your forearm. That's the simple push or pull we just talked about. Easy enough. But here's the kicker. Your elbow joint doesn't just feel that simple pull from the muscle. It feels the rotational effect. Your joint is loaded by the moment. And this is why how you lift something is so much more critical than just what you lift. So let's finally solve that puzzle from the beginning. Look on the left. When that weight is held close to your body, the distance from your shoulder joint is tiny. So you have the force of the weight times a small distance, which equals a small, totally manageable moment. But now look at the right. That same 10 pounds of force is now being multiplied by a huge distance, the entire length of your arm. That creates a massive moment that your joint and muscles have to fight against. The weight is identical, but the actual load on your joint is worlds apart. Okay, so now that we've got our two key players, force and moment, let's take a look at how they actually play out inside the human body, which, when you get down to it, is just this incredibly cool system of levers. So in biomechanics, we usually talk about three kinds of levers. You've got your first-class lever, which is like a seesaw. You've got a second-class lever, like a wheelbarrow, which actually gives you a mechanical advantage, makes it easier to lift heavy stuff. And then there's the third-class lever. And that is how most of the joints in your body are set up. So what's wild about this is the trade-off. A wheelbarrow, that second-class lever, has a mechanical advantage. A little bit of effort lets you lift a big, heavy load. But our bodies, being mostly third-class levers, are the opposite. We have a mechanical disadvantage. That means our muscles actually have to generate way more force than the weight we're trying to move. Now, why would we be built that way? Well, the payoff is huge. We get an incredible range of motion and amazing speed, which is perfect for things like throwing a ball or swinging a racket.
And it gets even more detailed than that. Just look at the shoulder. You have a small rotator cuff muscle, the supraspinatus, that pulls the arm bone inward, kind of sucking it into the socket to keep it stable. But then you have the big deltoid muscle on top that's pulling mainly upward. It's a constant tug of war. This shows that the direction of the force matters just as much as its size. It's why keeping those small rotator cuff muscles healthy is so important. They're fighting a battle against the big guys to keep the joints safe and centered.
So, after all that, what's the one thing you really need to take away from this? Well, it all boils down to a new golden rule for how you move. And it's really this simple. First, anytime you can, keep heavy things close to your body, close to your joints. Think about a deadlift. You're always told to keep the bar practically scraping your shins.
That's to minimize the distance, which minimizes the moment on your lower back. And second, you have to respect the power of distance. That invisible lever can turn something light into a massive strain. It's why just a tiny little flaw in a pitcher's form can create enough rotational force to wreck their elbow.
So now that those invisible forces of biomechanics are a little more visible, you can stop guessing and start actually understanding what's going on. So the question is, now that you can see it, what's the first move in your workout or even just in your daily life that you're going to rethink?